Hello everyone, this is BoboTheVulture.
Hello, Bobo the Vulture.
You are Grimith.
Welcome to Liberals Anonymous.
Right. So, it's July 4th. Alex Jones has predicted that the Democratic Civil War would begin. This won't go
Did he?
online until after July 4th, but what the hell.
Did Alex Jones predict that you'd screen share with me?
If he did, he was very nearly as wrong. It's alright, we're still on a title screen. You know what that looks like.
Yeah, I know how that looks, yeah, you're right.
Let me be very careful to click off the sound, because the most shocking revelation in this most recent version of Liberal Crime Squad, at least thus far, has been there's music, and that music breaks any attempts to share screens and microphone audio at the same time.
At least in Bobo's reality. So yes, this is, as obviously indicated on the screen, version 4.12.21. This is no longer being updated and maintained, obviously by Tarn Adams, who stopped a decade back. And Jonathan X. Fox worked on this for some time, and he's no longer updating himself. This past month, he just changed the sticky to what Isaac G has. I'm completely unfamiliar with what has been updated or changed at all, and he doesn't have a convenient change log like in the opening post of the thread that's been stickied, so I have no idea how far back that goes. Like if I checked the wiki or if I looked at the GitHub,
Right.
which you could link, I suppose, in that video description, the GitHub.
Well, I mean, I could, but it's right there on the screen, guys. Just look at it.
That's right. Why would you hyperlink something? Right.
You have fingers, type. And I haven't played this version yet. I don't think you have either. The last version I played is 4.07, which I think was one of the last releases that was by some portion of the previous community. I don't really know.
We'll go with that, Bobo.
Sure. I should say that when I was attempting to find references to things and get help from the LCS wiki was generally pointing towards version 4.07, which is a ways back, because that was before they even got into things like multiple cities, which is a thing now. I don't know if I'm going to bother getting involved in that, because it just seemed like it was...
Yeah, I can't help you. The last version I've played, the one I have on my computer, is 4.07.4.
Yeah. Well, alright. So let's see. Escape now, quit later. And we've been listening to the entrance of Nature Boy Ric Flair. Well, you and I, viewers at home, have. Grimith, unfortunately, doesn't get to hear this music.
I don't think that's an unfortunate thing. I got tired of it after the 17th loop.
In what world will we pursue our liberal agenda? What?
Enter a name for the save file. What is this reality?
There you go. What is this reality?
Right.
There's more music. Classic mode, no conservative crime squad. We didn't start the fire.
Are you going to be looking forward to content ID matches?
I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to. And now it's playing the goddamn theme to Monty Python. I don't know if I'm about this now.
You need to go into that music folder. You just need to delete that entire music folder.
Well, no, I mean, there's an entirely different version. I wanted to give this a shot with the music and see what it was like. I can mute the music later if this turns out to just drive me insane, which it's starting to before I've actually started the game. So that could happen quickly.
I mean, I thought it was bold of you to just dive in.
Well, you know, I'll never get started on something if I don't just get going. I think Nightmare Mode is a good place to get to. The CCS is active. The entire agenda is hardcore conservative. We're not trying to deal with going to other cities and I don't even know what marathon mode is. I think that would be something to explore later, maybe.
Marathon mode prevents amendments to the Constitution so that it takes longer for all of the adjustments to be made. Keep in mind that you have to not just replace the executive branch, but the legislative branch as well, and then all of the
the judiciary takes forever. I would imagine at that rate.
Yeah, the legislative, executive, and judiciary to get all of the laws passed. Whereas marathon mode, if you're doing so well, allows you to save time.
All right.
So you're not just sitting there going, for fuck's sakes.
Let's just go with the nightmare mode then, and then press another key to continue. No compromise classic seems like the way you would want to go for this, right?
Sure, you're playing in Nightmare and everything's got to be elite liberal.
Yes, you've basically just got to take the entire agenda, flip it the whole way around. That seems like not wussing out.
It's okay, this playthrough will only last 8 minutes.
I may die very quickly. That could happen. Although I try not to get too aggressive too early. Let's see what happens. Fast skills, grinding's conservative, excellent supports practice.
This is something new.
Face arrest. Affect security, self-disguise, and driving. So yeah, I guess this is a thing that you can do now where you can adjust how quickly some of those skills get going.
Security, stealth, disguise, and driving all do, take time. There's certainly been, if you look back in the series that I've recorded or streamed, I just spent a considerable amount of effort to level up security. Going on site. Obviously, you can, later on have, a great teacher to, bestow that skillage upon people, but
yeah.
I don't know. Go ahead and try fast skill. That's what its default set to.
I mean, okay. I was honestly thinking that would be a part of, a part of the game, just going in and trying locks for, a little while. It might get boring for folks.
I don't know what the difference will be. Go for it.
Let's find out. So, my default is Sally Baker. I'm a lady. My history is to let me choose.
That was your sex at birth. You can be whatever you want to be.
It's true. I'm okay with letting it do its own thing. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to dictate this other reality. I'm just going to take the scenario from here and run forward with it.
Okay.
And because those labels, they don't really do anything for the game, right? I think there's maybe one point in the game where it's slightly advantageous to be a male character, but that's about it.
Well, the conservatives you encounter are going to treat you as the sex you were born with at birth.
Well, okay. That'll be fine for our founder anyways. I'm gonna be recruiting people of all kinds of genders. I don't know if they actually in this game still have any more than 2. If they've added differences to that'll be nice to find out. Let's go ahead and choose our history. I was born in 1984 when the Polish priest Popoluszko was kidnapped by government agents. The 3rd anniversary of the assassination attempt on Ronald Reagan. When the MAC was introduced, the Nobel Peace Prize went to Desmond Tutu. The Sandinista Front won the elections in Nicaragua. Now, yes.
What's your familiarity with Liberal Crime Squad, Bobo?
My familiarity with Liberal Crime Squad is that I've played it. I have not gone into I realized that in the introduction, and they make some specific cues in some of them about, this particular option is discussing computers that probably will influence your computer skill, or, the last one is obviously you just get a random perk of I bought an AK-47, or I saved $1,000, or I got an old car. Those are pretty clear choices, but I've always basically just gone through with these and just picked the option that I thought was going to be cool, and it doesn't always turn out that it makes the best character. But a lot of times I play through the game in a way where my founding character isn't necessarily the one that's out there doing all of the actions anyways, which can take it a little longer because it means that any of the other characters that are actually going to sort of build up any sort of force of any size have a little more work to do to develop juice. But, I mean, it's okay.
Alright, so you're familiar with the game, is that you played it. Have you beaten Liberal Grindstone before?
The most recent game I have, it's sort of entered the waiting game stage. But that was actually the first time that I won. Well, not even won yet, but the Supreme Court is all elite liberal. All of the, like, there's an elite liberal president, Supreme Court, and the legislative branch is liberal and elite.
Bobo, so what story are we going to be telling here with Sally? The day she was born, what happened?
The day she was born. I'm curious as to what all of these do, but it's one of those things that I never researched in order to take the mystery out of it.
It's like, I have the answers to that, but I'm not going to tell you unless you want to know. And if you want to know, then this entire video is going to be character creation, which is nothing new on youtube.com/user/BoboTheVulture.
I'll have you know, I recently went back and took a look at my analytics, and that 2-hour character creation video of SmackDown Here Comes the Pain is my single most viewed video. It's like tens of thousands of people decided to tune in for that 2 hours worth of making 2 different wrestlers.
Yeah, so they watched the entire thing, I'm sure.
In terms of minutes viewed, it's far and away my most viewed video. There's no accounting for taste, is I guess what I'm getting at.
Uh-huh.
Let's go ahead and say that that the most important event was that the Nobel Peace Prize went to Desmond Tutu. What's that gonna happen? What's that gonna do?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That gives you +2 heart.
Oh, good. I like having heart. When I was bad, my parents grounded me and hid my toys, but I knew where they put them. My father beat me and I learned to take a punch earlier than most. I was sent to my room where I studied quietly by myself, alone. My parents argued with each other about me, but I was never punished. My father lectured me endlessly, trying to make me think like him. I feel like we should study quietly by ourselves, alone. That seems like a good expenditure of our time.
Or Sally Baker, forever alone, when she was bad.
So lonely.
That gives you +1 intelligence and +1 writing.
That's good. I also like this, how you're waiting for the screen to change every time before you reveal what the what these choices are, which is nice.
That's right.
Elementary school, I was mischievous, always up to something. I had a lot of repressed anger. I hurt animals. I was the head of the class and I worked very hard. I was unruly and often fought with the other children. I was the class clown. I even had some friends. I'm gonna make this person a brainiac. I was the head of the class and I worked hard.
Same as the last choice, intelligence and writing.
Hooray, I'm gonna be so smart. Alright. When my parents divorced, whenever I talked, they argued, so I stayed quiet. They divorced violently. They divorced acrimoniously. I once tripped over the paperwork. And Mom slept with a divorce lawyer, or it still hurts to read my old diary. I'm gonna say that it still hurts to read my old diary.
+1 writing.
Hooray! I think one of the primary roles of my founder is to run a liberal guardian when that happens. I'm kind of a free press guy. I realize that that doesn't come without consequences in the early stages.
It feels as if you've tackled other things before involving it. Free press.
Oh, well, I don't know what you mean. I was a junior in high school. I was into chemistry, or I played guitar in a grunge band. We sucked, but so did life. Drew things, played violent video games at home, and was a total outcast. Or got obsessed with swords and started lifting weights. You know, I can't say that I wouldn't have played violent video games at home, because that's the kind of thing I would do. So
+2 agility and +2 computers.
I wouldn't expect agility from playing violent video games, but what the hey.
I've certainly got better agility through the video games I've played in my life.
If you're just talking about, like, being able to move your thumbs well, I'm with you.
Coordination, Bobo.
Yes, I gotcha. Things were getting really bad. I stole my first car, got a few blocks before I totaled it. I went to live with my dad. He'd been a nom, but he still drank. I went completely goth and had no friends and made costumes. Sent to religious counseling. Tried being a teacher's assistant, and it just made me a target. I'm not going to be anybody's goth waifu. Which is, I guess, which I guess is a big thing now. I'll be the TA. How's that?
That's +2 teaching.
Good. It reached a crescendo. That's a turn of phrase that really irks me. A crescendo is the building up. If they're talking about the peak of the crescendo is the thing that's reaching. Gah.
Oh my god.
Oh, hey, Hazel.
You have alienated the moderates listening, for sure.
Oh dear, I've alienated the masses.
You've alienated the masses.
Let's see. They really want me to steal cars. That's an option in several of these different things. Stole a cop car when I was 14, went to juvie. Stepmom shot the ex-husband with a shotgun. Tried wrestling for a quarter. Got caught making out. Now I need to be cured of homosexuality. Or resorted to controlling people and had my own clique of outcasts.
It is beautiful to behold the birth of Sally Baker and her life while listening to fireworks outside.
That is pretty good. Let's resort to controlling people. I'll be like
right.
Raven and start a flock.
That's +1 charisma and +2 persuasion.
I like charisma and persuasion. 15, I ran away and started robbing houses, rich people only. I was fed up with their crap. Hung out with thugs and beat the shit out of people. Got a horrible job working fast food, smiling as people fed the man. Let people pay me for sex. Volunteered for a left-wing candidate, but it wasn't real, though. That sounds like something that Sally Baker would do. Volunteering for a left-wing candidate? Yeah.
That's +1 intelligence, +1 law, and +1 persuasion.
Oh, Sally Baker's doing great. Sally Baker's trying to work through the system, guys. It just might not happen. My 18th birthday, got hands on my sports car. Oh, see, another one. Friggin' stealing all the time. Bought an assault rifle, went to party and met a cool law student. Managed to acquire secret maps of several major buildings downtown. You know what? They don't necessarily say that sports car was stolen. They just say that the owner must have been pissed. Perhaps we negotiated a very advantageous deal with the owner that he only realized after the fact.
You won it in a poker game.
That's right. It's like the Millennium Falcon.
Card counter. There we go.
There you go. Alright, past few years, been stealing from corporations. I know they're still keeping more secrets. The last few years, I've been a violent criminal. Nothing can change me or stand in my way. Been taking college courses. I could see how much the country needs help. Surviving alone, just like anyone. Writing my manifesto and refining my image. I'm ready to lead. Let's take some college courses. This is going to be the most... Sally Baker's going to be the most Sally proper character that ever was made.
That final option has a slew of changes that I won't list all of them of.
We'll just take a look at our character here when we get out here. A new conservative era. The year is 2009. Conservative President Colin Snyder ends his second term with approval ratings in the high 70s and is succeeded by hardcore arch-conservative Bill Sutcliffe. With conservatives sweeping into power in the House of Representatives and Senate, and a conservative majority in the Supreme Court of the United States, commentators are hailing it as the beginning of a new conservative era. President Bill Sutcliffe has asked the new Congress to move quickly to rubber stamp his radical arch-conservative agenda. The left seems powerless to stop this imminent trampling of liberal sanity and justice. In this dark time, the Liberal Crime Squad is born. So there you go, folks. This game was basically sort of refined, and its messages came out from around the late 2000s. So if you're thinking that there are parallels to be drawn with the current state of affairs of the world, they're entirely in your mind. This game has nothing to do with any of that, and if anybody is looking at this with a critical eye towards anything that I say or do, just realize that this is clearly all parody.
This game was first created in 2002 by Tarn Adams of Bay 12 Games, primarily known for Dwarf Fortress. And in 2006, around about maybe 07, Tarn said, "I'm done with this." And then for a time afterwards, and even to this point, it's been carried by as open source, with developments released by the Bay 12 Curses subforum.
Yeah,
it is intended as a political satire to joke around with everything and everyone, but in this bleak nightmare scenario that Bobo has decided to play and likely die in, things aren't as funny.
The votes of confidence here are just very reassuring. But once you start seeing some of the issues in particular that come up, you'll realize that they're not necessarily all of the exact same types of issues, or are not framed in the exact same sorts of ways as they really are sort of being debated in a current forum. What's our name to the people? We'll just continue to be Sally Baker. And finally we get to a new song. And it's one I heard earlier today. One of these damn marches, I don't remember which one.
That's good, I guess.
Sure. Let's take a look at Sally's stats here.
Yes.
So.
Alright. Starts with 10 heart and 10 intelligence. Lowest stat ends up being, that's not wisdom, is strength. The attribute, the stat maxes, determine your skill maxes. Each has a different value to you depending on your playstyle, what you end up intending for the character. The skills will level up through natural progression of using them, or by getting training under someone, or going to get training from somewhere. But they are capped at the stat maxes. The stats don't really change in any meaningful way, except through leveling up by acquiring juice.
Right, and you acquire juice typically through committing crimes. So if you have characters that you want to level up, you either have to get sort of very technical about the ways that you get them to acquire juice, or you just have to make peace with the fact that they will be wanted criminals.
Advancing the liberal agenda.
Right. Through legal and illegal forms of activism.
Well, as it turns out, in your current nightmarish state.
Almost everything is. Now then, I have a reasonable starting amount of persuasion, probably enough to sway the minds of anybody that I'm likely to find out on the streets right now. It's because, of course, right now, the only way that the arch-conservative agenda could progress as far as it has is that the public's opinion has sort of swayed in that direction. If we were to go out to any given place right now, we would mostly run into conservatives, arch-conservatives. You'll find a couple of liberal folks out there, but it's mostly going to be hippies and maybe some college students and some mutants, depending on where you go.
Depend where you go. Like if you travel to, say, the crack house, for example, you'll there are still conservatives there, but there's fewer.
Yes, but let's take a look at the. What? I'm sorry. There's a new music cue that is throwing me off. But let's see here. The Secretary of State is Mike Glucksberg. Beautiful dream. And it had there's singing happening, like literal singing happening in my ears. People singing words. This is a lot to take. But yes, let's take a look over at. There you go. You can get a brief description here of what the arch-conservative agenda ends up meaning for particular political issues, like law enforcement is being given free rein. People can be put to death for minor offenses. Nuclear power is wildly proliferating with no controls or regulations at all. Women are second-class citizens. Burning the flag is a crime on par with murder. Civil rights have been repealed, ostensibly to promote states' rights.
Yes, if Bobo bought a flag and then burned it, he'd be wanted for flag murder.
Yes.
The actual crime listed in the game is flag murder.
Virtually no ethics restrictions exist on political office holders. Prisoners are subject to torture and slave labor. Out of control military spending funds several ongoing wars around the world. It's bleak. Homosexuals are routinely persecuted with no recourse. There is no weekend. Children are forced to work, and workers can't afford food. People, we have to do something.
Given enough time, if Bobo failed to do anything and the game didn't end because he got himself killed or arrested or whatever, if he fails to sway public opinion, eventually the arch-conservatives will win the game, and there will be a final status screen that has those things fully accelerated to one extreme.
My, so we do have a time limit on us now. Oh, it says it's stolen. Well, I got a steal on it.
Yes, it's like legally it's labeled as stolen, but in your heart, you know it's not stolen.
All right. Let's go ahead and hop in that car just so that anytime that I go someplace, I will be improving my driving skill.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have any equipment right now because we just got started and we didn't decide that we were going to buy an AK-47 or something.
You got the clothes on your back.
Got the clothes on my back. So we'll hit the F button to go forth and stop evil.
Where shall you be stopping evil?
Well, I imagine really the best place to go right now would be the fucking Russian dances. Wow. Alright everybody, go ahead and play Spot the Music whenever a new tune starts. It's stuff from cartoons. It's very strange. Well, I tell you what, why don't we go downtown and go to the latte stand just to see. I don't imagine there's going to be a whole lot of elite liberals hanging out there, but just in case there are, and we run into somebody fairly interesting, because probably you're going to find your most of your elite liberals are going to be at places like the Crack House right now, on the fringes of society, but oh, there's two arch-conservative Sugar Plum fairies. I'm sorry, it's the dance of the Sugar Plum fairies now, which is also the theme music of Iwamine Shu, if you remember from that damn pigeon game. This music in my head is making it difficult to focus on that. Let's go ahead and talk to these two, though. I could talk to either of them. I could drop a pickup line. And why not?
What church do you go to?
Here
we go. You can read out Sally's lines, and I can read out the lines of the arch-conservatives or whoever you end up coming across.
I suppose as long as we go through at this pace. Obviously, eventually we will speed this up, but as we're just introducing these basic concepts.
Find your lack of faith disturbing.
Oh, I struck out. Let's talk to the other office worker. Will you marry me?
No, I am your father.
Okay, so they're all doing the Star Wars right now. Now, one of the nice things that more recent versions of Liberal Crime Squad have put in that I didn't notice in first playthroughs is the wait button. You can just summon another encounter without having to go walk around until another one pops up. There are plenty of times when you don't want to have an encounter, but when you're just wanting to go around and Yeah, there don't seem to be a lot of people here that are interested in what we have to say. But
this is literally the second group you've encountered. You could have at least gone to like the New You Juice Bar or whatever the hell it's named.
Oh. Do you believe in abstinence education?
Don't count on it, Slimeball.
Aww. Alright. Come on, if I drop a pickup line on this prostitute, surely. Do you believe in abstinence education?
Don't count on it, Slimeball.
Oh, I guess I didn't hear from when the mathematician said it. Sorry. Will you marry me? I'm your father. Yep. It's getting a bit repetitive now.
You'll note that the lines that the elite liberal is saying here are in brackets. That's due to the restrictions currently placed on free speech.
Yes.
The pickup lines can be more prolific, but in the current status of the world, they cannot be.
Yes, they can be more profane as well. Let's talk to a lab tech. Nope. Let's talk to a sculptor. Nope. Let's talk to a college student. Oh, 19? Maybe? Nope. Oh, you are not totally... Nope. Let's...
So I find it amusing that you wanted some persuasion, and here we are seducing people.
I'm not gonna spend my persuasive powers attempting to sway these folks that are clearly lost causes as arch conservatives. Well, there is a mutant here. Mutants are very good potential starting party mates. So let's talk to this mutant, who is a female in her 30s. Let's strike up a conversation about politics. Do you want to hear something disturbing?
What?
In the name of the war on terror, we've sacrificed our soul by letting the government torture and abuse human beings on our behalf.
Whatever.
Gah! Oh, and she won't even let me hit on her now. So, let's just go back and continue to hit on all of these people, because that's a thing that you can do to level up your seduction skill. What's our seduction skill looking like right now? Oh, it's already almost a half a point up from this very slow and deliberate. I bet if we picked up the pace here a little bit, we could get to a point of seduction in no time.
I really feel like this first video here has been a great hook to sell people on Liberal Crime Squad.
Look, they've got to be prepared for what the beginning of the game is like, because if you don't put in the hard work early on, your squad is going to find itself out of skills and out of luck.
Yeah, but here, plenty of thrills.
Just enough thrills. Alright, so we have found another mutant. Let's strike up a conversation about politics. Do you want to hear something disturbing?
No.
God damn it. Well, what church do you go to?
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Totally shut down by that mutant.
It was awesome.
Alright. Let's get started with this mutant. Let's strike up a conversation about politics. Do you want to hear something disturbing?
No.
Fine. Then you don't even want to go out with me either. Son of a bitch. Oh. This person.
Are you trying to drop a pickup line on the 16?
This 16-year-old teenager. Now, I've played versions in the past where it does not seem to really care, and you can drop a pickup line on underage people, and there don't seem to be many consequences to it. That is frowned upon here, which is fine. Ooh, a hanging judge. Those are dangerous folks to run into if you are, attempting to if you're attempting to actually pick up one of these folks and go on dates with them. Hanging judges have a bad tendency to not be swayed by you as much as sway you to their way of thinking. They're persuasive folks.
Yes, they can increase your wisdom.
They can poison your mind.
And here in Liberal Crime Squad, the liberals want nothing to do with wisdom. It's all heart.
That's right. Okay, so you can see here we've leveled up a point of seduction, so let's get out of here.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
So, let's we didn't see a whole lot of folks there. We found a couple of mutants. The mutants didn't want to talk to us so much, but I bet if we go to the industrial district. Oh, we go to the university. Okay, we'll go to the university district. Sure. Wait a second. Did that say what I thought it did? What's going on in these housing projects?
Really, Bobo?
I didn't put it there.
Really?
I didn't. That wasn't me. I didn't know. I don't know. Do you genuinely think I know how to alter save files in this game?
So here, like, you could try the Broccoli Forest Vegan Co-op or the Healthy Methods Juice Bar.
I sure could. Alright. Like how you're not even willing to wait around for me to bumble my way through things. I've done enough.
No, if I wasn't willing to do that, I wouldn't be here, right? Wink, wink. You're walking past these groups of liberals, Bobo.
I just wanted to get a glimpse of the place. Alright, high school dropout. Oof, you've already dropped out at an early age. You must have been a freshman when you did.
Gotta get started early in life. I'm dropping out. Right, hippies?
Look at all these damn hippies. Alright, you know what? I'll talk to you. I'm not sure if you're necessarily going to be my type of folks in the end. You have to be a... But I'll give you... we'll have some conversation here. Do you want to hear something disturbing?
You need to work on people who will actually want to listen to you so you can level up your persuasion, because as it stands right now...
Well, apparently that's not this damn hippie.
It's not that damn hippie, no.
Alright, let's talk to...
The didn't want to either, so...
It's true. Nope. What about this hippie? Nope. Fine, do any of you want to date me?
Just being shut down at every turn. I'm tickled.
Alright. What about, you want to hear something disturbing?
What?
Over 30 innocent people have been executed over the past decade.
Whatever.
What kind of hippie are you that doesn't enrage you? You're just one of those poser hippies that's just about the hacky sack dreads. You don't care about the issues.
Hippie poser.
You want to hear something disturbing?
No.
Alright. Hey, hippie. What do you think? Nope.
No.
Hey, hippie. I have disturbing news.
I don't think you do. Because your charisma's 5. You're made out of trash.
Well, fine. Oh. Right.
That is worth keeping in mind, too. Your charisma is 5.
I do have not the best charisma. It's not the worst charisma you could have. But...
That is factually correct.
Let's strike up a conversation about politics that goes nowhere. What about you? You want to hear anything disturbing? Sexism is still pervasive in subtle ways, and women make much less than they deserve for their labor. Hippies don't care. Hey, mutant. Do you want to hear something disturbing? Hey, mutant. Do you want to sleep with me? Nope.
This is just kind of like sad. Just glad there's not a confidence score. All this rejection.
Hey, more hippies. Yay! Tax code has been designed to perpetuate an unjust class structure that's keeping you oppressed.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah. Hippies like, just don't make any money like me. Burning a piece of cloth is actually stigmatized in this country. You can love freedom and still hate what our government stands for.
Whatever.
Boy, things just are not going fantastically here. Nope. Nope. We're not even really leveling up our seduction skill that fast, and we're not leveling up our persuasion skill at all.
No.
So...
You may have to attempt a different approach.
It's true. Hey, politics? No. Hey, something disturbing? you wanna shag? Nope.
Like there's classes, obviously at the university, and one of them, I think, public policy, would help cover a few points. Persuasion, help you get those. You do have 3, but also like you might have to, if you really want to like convince people, you're gonna have to get juiced up because of the charisma 5. Obviously, you're just not doing it. You're not selling it to them right now.
Well, right now I'm not selling it to them in part because let's see here. No. Conversation. Radioactive waste is being stored all over the country and it poses a serious threat to many families, even in this neighborhood.
Locks, I don't think we can allow that.
Oh man. The hippie agreed to come by later tonight. What about this other hippie? Do you want to hear something disturbing?
What?
Sexism. I told that other guy about it.
Whatever.
Oh, admittedly, that wasn't my best pitch.
Sexism, I told that other guy. What a convincing argument.
Hey, the government is systematically trying to rob women of the right to control their own destinies. Oh, I didn't even notice whether that hippie was male or female. Maybe it doesn't care because it doesn't affect him. Industries that stop at nothing to become more profitable are polluting the environment in ways that hurt not only animals but people too.
Sure thing.
Wow, these guys are not about it.
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe you could find better people who will go along with your shitty lines at the crack house. I thought you'd at least be able to win over some hippie.
No,
I was
don't
mistaken.
talk to them. Talk to this old musician. No? Okay. Hey, hippie. Let's talk about politics. Hey, hippie! Hey, she hippie! Nope. Okay. You don't want to hear about it. Hey, mutant. What's going on? What do you think about politics?
No.
You don't think about them. Okay. That's cool. Nope. Don't wanna.
I have a third eye. I don't care about politics.
Hey, you guys. What's happening? Here we go. Talking to all these folks should finally give me another point of persuasion, so I'm gonna be one sexy mofo.
Persuasion? No,
I mean,
seduction.
sexual persuasion, you know, that kind.
Yeah.
Alright. And I did max that out, so let's get going.
Because clearly you can't win people over in the mirror. It's okay. Alvin Hooker here is interested in learning more. He's got some heart.
He's got heart.
He's actually got more charisma than your fucking character has.
A little bit. Let's casually talk with this person and discuss politics. I explained my views on judges.
I found your views to be insightful, and I'll definitely meet you again tomorrow.
Oh, that's good. Now see, that will give me a slight bump to my persuasion skill. Look at that. I did something.
You did.
I
Look at
did
you
it, everyone.
accomplishing things.
It's amazing. Let's now see. There are a couple of ways that I could attempt to increase my persuasion, because my persuasion skill is actually it tops out at 5, but right now it's at 3.
Yes, because your charisma score is 5, and persuasion is
a factor that is based on that. Yes, I think in terms of a lot of the skills, like I think the biggest skills, important skills to have, or attributes to have, are a good intelligence score will help you with a lot of the non-combat roles in the game, like first aid or writing or law, and agility seems to be the skill that will help you out in a lot of the combat skills, like dodge and martial arts and most of the gun skills.
Agility caps your damage for all types of weapons except for clubs and hand-to-hand. But yeah.
So, there are a couple of things that I could do here. I could continue going forth to places to stop evil by like hitting on people that are conservative and attempting to chat up people that are liberal. Or I could activate this liberal and choose an activity. And I could raise the persuasion skill very slowly by doing legal fundraising and soliciting donations. That will slowly grind up your persuasion skill. It'll take a long time to get better at it though, and time could be of the essence if the arch-conservative agenda is completely unmoved.
You're gonna have like a decade or two. You're gonna be fine, unless that's been changed in this newest version. It takes a long while for the game to place the game ender on the table.
Well, what I might do in that case is, because we don't have a lot of money, and we don't have a lot of persuasion skill, and we don't have a lot of charisma, which means that soliciting donations won't get us very much money right now. What I might do
Go ahead.
is I might want to leave the apartment that I have right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm paying money for that apartment, right?
You sure are. That gets charged at the 3rd of every in-game month, I think.
Yeah. Is there a way to break that lease? Do I have to go in and talk to the dude? I forget.
You can try going into there to break the lease. Maybe that functionality's been added, but I don't think, like, from my time playing the game, like, I just have to run out of money.
Oh, and that they just kick your ass out.
Yeah. Like, you can obviously go to stay at a different safe house, but
Sure.
like, it won't be. But hey, maybe that functionality's been added in this version. You can always pay a visit to the apartments and check it out.
Let's learn. Let's go to Medici Apartments. Oh, there's a programmer and an amateur magician waiting at the door. Hey guys, do either of you want to date me? No? Okay.
No.
What about what's going on in here? Now, I live here, I guess, so I have a map.
Yes. It's because, this is a safe house for you, effectively.
Yes. So ordinarily you would not necessarily, if I hit M for the map here, I would only get places that I had moved to. So that's slightly different. Like I can go back here and wander around. Oh, that shook the handle, but it's locked. Do I try and force it open? Ah. I would have to force the door open because I have literally no security skill.
You have literally zero foundation of which to work off of attempting to pick a lock, because you have no idea how to even remotely begin to do it.
Yes, I basically, if I turn a door handle and it doesn't move, the only other thing I know how to do would be to try and kick down the door, which is not going to unlock it. It might get me in.
It can forcibly open the door, but it does upset people.
Yeah, and rightly so. I'm not gonna squabble over that. The landlord is in. Let's talk to the landlord.
Well, there you go. Stop renting a room.
I can stop renting this room. Cool. I'd like to cancel my room. Or sorry.
I'd like cancel my room.
This is how low my persuasion skill is. I can't even talk to people normally. I'd like cancel my room.
All right, please clear out your room.
Your possessions at this location have been moved to the shelter. Cool.
What possession?
I don't have any possessions. Alvin Hooker feels that something needs to be done. Cool. Why don't we keep talking to you? I'm gonna explain my views on CEO compensation.
I found your views to be insightful, and I'll definitely meet you again tomorrow.
This is amazing. Alright, so I'm now living at the homeless shelter, which doesn't really affect much of anything. I mean, it's slightly less secure a location if I were going around and committing a lot of crimes right now, but aside from that, there's not that much of a practical difference.
Yes, as of now, you haven't done anything illegal.
Right. So basically, I mean, the homeless shelter, if they start finding a bunch of people are just committing crimes at random, might be one of the first places the cops might look. But since I'm not doing anything real bad right now, that's not as much of a problem. But I tell you what, let's go ahead and activate this liberal, Sally Baker, and actually no, see, because I have a person that I'm talking to, so I can't actually just fast forward. So
Well, it'll just keep popping up every day. Like,
hey, are you gonna talk to me some more?
which, since you're wanting to increase your persuasion, seems reasonable.
It's good. So let's combine our efforts at that. Let's try and solicit donations during the day, and during the night we'll talk to this new liberal dude.
The scrub living it out of the homeless shelter with clothes on her back, and nary a liberal concern in the hearts and minds of people.
Yeah. So
please give me some money.
Alvin Hooker is ready to fight for the liberal cause.
Now, you could recruit him, or you could just continue to talk to him, because continuing to talk to him gives you persuasion, which is what you're wanting.
Yes, and considering I'm not necessarily doing a whole lot of criminal activity to boost juice with this character right now, I only have so many people that I can recruit, and if this person's strong suits are religion and writing, and they aren't that strong...
Stronger than you.
Okay.
Wait.
Alvin Hooker just got a sick burn on me, but...
Stronger and more charismatic than you, with more heart.
But let's just keep talking to you about politics. Aren't politics nifty? Views on privacy. It's interesting, right? Let's wait. Oh, you still wanna join the liberal cause? That's cool. Why don't we just talk some more? Talk about the military. Talk about cable news. What about civil rights? How's that doing? Oh, look at that persuasion skill. It's skyrocketing. We'll be at a 5 in no time.
It's going up quicker than what it was at the start of this.
It sure is. And I'm also just going to move through this quickly so that this one screen, there's no music for. The meeting with people screen. They didn't bother to put in a song there. So. Or if they did, it has a very quiet introduction, and I never hear it. Genetic research, the military, pollution, prisons, labor unions. Oh, a lot more about labor unions. LGBTQ. I wonder if that's actually changed since the game originally came out, because the addition of Q and nowadays even of plus, I feel like is something that wasn't part of the common vernacular in like the 2000s. Anyhow, how am I looking now?
Persuasion of 4.37. What are you gonna do when you get 5 persuasion, Bobo?
Well, I'm just going to have to go out and see what exactly and who exactly I can win over with that kind of Reagan the man.
A new book lauding Reagan and the greatest generation.
Well, cool.
These new news excerpts will pop up now and then and will influence public opinion for a time on issues, both towards the conservative or liberal agenda.
Yes, and this one... it's going to make people more appreciative of the conservative agenda, because Ronnie Reagan was the man. Or at least, that's what this book is saying. True Courage, the book. Cable news, women's rights, the prison system, cops. Congress is acting on legislation. Oh, I wonder whether or not we've managed to affect the liberal agenda enough to really sway things.
Even if you did, the president would veto these things.
Well, there haven't been any Prangard à Trois. Selections from Carmen are now playing in my ear. Okay, but yes, these were all voted down pretty strongly, and nothing happened. Oh, wow. The ledger looks different. Check that out.
My goodness, look at how much money you've made.
I mean, I've more than doubled my money.
People actually donated to the cause. Tremendous. I do like this funding report. I like this breakdown.
Yeah, it's nice looking. They cleaned it up real good. My persuasion is 4.67. It's getting right up there. Let's just...
Also, all this talking has slowly leveled up your religion.
Oh, right, because this person has a religion skill. You know, Grimith, that is a game mechanic I'd completely forgotten existed. I need to find somebody who has some security skill and just talk to them a bunch.
You really think that'll work?
Well, I mean, maybe,
I
right?
guess it's good to have dreams. It's the liberal crime squad.
Alvin Hooker, you're still ready to fight? I mean, it's good to know that you're ready. I don't know that I'm gonna end up making you a part of the team. But,
he's not gonna make you part of the team.
Yeah. Let's break off the meetings.
Oh, maybe Alvin just didn't want to be alone, and you're gonna make Alvin be alone.
I suppose you're right. Let's talk to him one more time. I could still learn more about religion.
I'm so done with you.
Let's go forth to stop some evil.
Yes, where will we be stopping evil?
We're gonna let's stop evil at the crack house. That seems like a good place to stop evil, doesn't it? I mean, there's evil happening there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not solicit any more donations, because we've maxed out our persuasion. Oof, gang signs everywhere. So this is what the map normally looks like, folks. You don't get to see everything. There's prostitutes and transients. I wonder if I could learn something about seduction from a prostitute. You know what? No. There's transients, prostitutes and transients. Hey, it's a mutant. Let's strike up a conversation about politics with a mutant now that I have a good persuasion skill. Good, not great. Do you want to hear something disturbing?
What?
The tax code has been designed to perpetuate. I really didn't level up persuasion that well. It's an unjust class structure that's keeping you oppressed.
Whatever.
God damn it.
Learn how to communicate.
Hey, another mutant. Hey, mutant. What's happening? Let's talk about some politics. In the name of the war on terror, we've sacrificed our soul by letting the government torture and abuse human beings on our behalf.
Whatever.
You guys. I thought you guys would be understanding about this. Mutants, why won't you talk to me? Take a breath and think about the world we live in, that we're spending hundreds of billions on new ways to kill people. This has to stop.
Dear me, is there anything we can do?
There might be. After more discussion, Mutant agrees to come by later tonight.
All we needed was that impassioned plea, Sally.
That's right. I suppose I could walk around farther into the... Do you want to hear something disturbing?
No.
See what's going on farther into the interior of the crack house, but there's not really a whole lot.
No.
It's just more to sort of like get a pretty picture of what it all looks like in here.
Yes, a pretty picture.
What? You don't think that this is pretty? Oof, I just saw a whole scan line go through there. I don't know if everybody at home did. Hey, mutant. You are in your 30s, you're a male. Do you want to hear something disturbing?
What?
Protests and demonstrations are regularly and often brutally suppressed in this country. People have to watch what they write, even what they read. Oh. There you go. That mutant's coming by.
Yeah, that mutant's gonna be a winner. That's the sort of dialogue you get from, well, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. We don't know. Mutants in this game are kind of a crapshoot.
I know. When they give you the line, I know.
I didn't know that one was an indicator of anything. But let's all find out later as a family. Let's strike up a conversation about politics with this mutant. Have you noticed how people are working more and more hours for less and less money? It's all part of a plan to keep you enslaved, man. Well, I got poofed at. A lot of gang members hanging out here. Let's not force that door open. That is a very easy thing to do in this game if you just happen to press a key.
Why are these hippies and prostitutes and crackheads and transients not good enough for you, but mutants are?
Well, it has to do with if I was to attempt to recruit a crackhead, I would typically find that their skill sets are not particularly attuned to putting together a good resistance against the evil, arch-conservative regime. It's just a thing. I mean, they would have some heart, maybe. Not a lot of intelligence, not a lot of health, not a lot of agility, strength, charisma.
Now, part of that would be that some of these types will start off with negative juice. They have to be pulled out of that, and then their attributes come to life, Bobo.
Is that right? I didn't know that. Did you know that radioactive waste is being stored all over the country and it poses a serious threat to many families, even in this neighborhood? I feel like the mutant ought to know that.
Whatever.
But they don't care. So you suggesting I should maybe talk to this prostitute and see what things are like?
Hey, you do what you want. It's not like you can level up persuasion anymore anyways. It's not exactly as if you could attract.
What if I dropped a pickup line on this prostitute? Nope.
Like I said, it's not like you can attract.
Let's not forget about attempting to build up our seduction score from the lofty 2 that it is right now.
Yes. And your impeccable 5 charisma.
Now, one thing that you will notice here is that if I was to talk to a gang member, in addition to being able to drop a pickup line or strike up a conversation about politics, I could buy weapons from them. Hey, I need a gun.
What exactly do you need?
See, this is a place that you could go. I mean, there are other places that you can buy guns, but at various...
Oh, yeah, like you could go to a gang member to buy guns if, they're not currently being sold legally, for example. But in the arch-conservative nightmare, you don't. You could buy a perfectly legal anti-aircraft gun.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever going to sell you a perfectly legal anti-aircraft gun, but things like assault rifles can become harder to obtain legally, and pretty sure this guy will always give you one of those if you... let's see, what do we have right here? Okay, doesn't have it. Well, he's got an AK-47 right now. I could buy a gun right now if I really wanted one, but no, we don't need a weapon right now. We don't have enough money to really be looking into that sort of thing anyway.
Sure, I can't fund that hobby. Use all of your donations from people to buy gun and ammo.
That's a good idea. Let's go out and solicit more donations.
That's a great Patreon goal.
Hey, can you get me some guns? I wonder whether or not Patreon would flag something like that.
I'm sure it would be fine. It sounds perfectly freedom-based.
Protests and demonstrations. Whatever. Fine. What about you? Do you want to marry me?
You've won over 2 people here thus far.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's not nothing.
Yes,
and one of them
is more than 0.
And one of them was somebody that said, So I guess having those 2...
plus Alvin, who you're still talking to.
Let's slowly make our way to the door here so we can take a look at these mutants and see what their skill sets are.
Once upon a time, in the we'll say the versions that Toady last worked on, you could queue up so many meetings, but functionality since then was edited so that if you try to queue up too many meetings,
you lose track of them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But let's So we got Romeo Tisdall here, who has a heart of 1, an intelligence of 2, wisdom of 1, health of 2, agility of 1, strength of 1, and charisma of 3.
That's my guess of the guy who said,
well, we can't increase our persuasion anymore, so there's not really a reason to string him along, especially since he's not going to teach me any real good skills. He might be able to teach me some disguise, actually, but no. It's okay. This mutant is interested in learning more. Very charismatic, not that much in intelligence or agility. But
double the founder's charisma.
Double the founder, yes. Very charismatic individual. I'm not denying that this person is a charismatic individual, but I mean, what are we doing here if we don't have somebody that can go out and actually get their hands dirty? I don't know that our founder is equipped to do that. Although you have a martial arts skill of 4, however, that is also the most that you can possibly learn until...
Your founder is most equipped to write, but that's not what your founder's doing.
No. The founder has to get outside of the founder's comfort zone a little at the beginning. But... pardon me. Let's, I'm gonna break off these meetings too. Because, well, I don't know. What if I hang on to these meetings and see whether or not I learn any martial arts by talking to Logan West? My views were insightful. I'm gonna keep learning things about religion from you. How about that? Did I learn anything? No. I have a little bit of driving skill. That's fun. Art club. Wait a minute. Where is... Oh, martial arts is farther down. I thought martial arts was the first skill that was listed, but no.
Actually, martial arts is not something your boy, your girl Sally Baker, is going to be picking up just by having a talk with people.
Maybe they could have discussed Bruce Lee movies.
I just told you that it could happen through religion, and now your hopes and dreams are not going to apply to all skills.
That I will be able to just absorb things from everyone like a sponge.
Osmosis.
Yeah. Seems right. Alright, well. I mean, I guess... Is there anything for it except to continue to try and find some interesting and useful mutants? I mean, it's kind of a grind, but...
Not when you keep striking out with like 75% of the people you talk to.
I mean... Transients and crackheads. Hey, buddy. Whatever. Fine. Alright, let's talk to this prostitute. This prostitute should have a charisma score, which would mean that they may be able to learn how to persuade people.
So the mutant with 10 charisma wasn't good enough for you, but this prostitute will be.
Alright. Fine, I won't pick up the prostitute.
I'm just noting the inconsistencies in the system. Obviously, you're biased against mutants.
Yes, that must be what it is. That's why I'm primarily trying to talk to them.
Yes, we have to do something about the fact that you rejected a mutant with 10 charisma and the prostitute you wanted to put on the table.
Wait a minute, what did you just say about putting a prostitute on the table?
That's what you wanted to do.
Well, I mean...
I'm not here to judge.
It's a transaction. Not going to shame anybody for their lines of work. Alright. Politics. Things seem to be going a little bit more smoothly and quickly now. Oh, see? Fast enough that I actually just skipped by a mutant there. Whoops.
Lox, I don't think we can allow you to skip past mutants.
Well, that's alright. Then you should come by later tonight. Hey, another mutant. How you doing, buddy? What do you think's going on in the world? We gotta do something.
Do something.
That's right.
My science.
Well, that's a few more. Now, I think if I actually... Let's see. You're interested in learning more. You have a high intelligence and a low agility score. Still,
More charisma than the founder.
more charisma than the founder, only by 1 point. Which is something. I'm not saying it's nothing.
Uh-huh.
I really need someone with an agility score if I'm actually going to go out and do anything interesting other than talk to people. Right now, I'm not finding that.
You can hire multiple people or recruit multiple people to the Liberal Crime Squad, Bobo.
I know, but I need a team. Let's casually chat with this person. They found my insights to be insightful. You are a mutant that... you have street sense, which is... I don't even know what street sense is meant to do in this game. And I don't know how to build it up if you don't have it.
So, street sense, what that does, it helps you avoid the law when you're performing activities on the streets that would be illegal, such as selling brownies, car theft, prostitution. You would train it by performing those activities.
So any of the activate liberal sort of skills that are not legal. Okay.
Yeah, in addition, like, once you have that skill, if you put people into activism, but they're wanted for crimes, like, that will help them avoid the law.
Oh.
Well, you know, even if they're not doing anything illegal, if they're already wanted for crimes when you have them out on the streets.
You know what? With a moderately high charisma, not that great, and a reasonable amount of street sense, this person could go into prostitution and potentially not get caught. I don't know if that's the best idea in the world, but it's something they could do.
It's an idea.
I'm going to break off these meetings, though. You are interested in learning more.
You'll notice that
look at
the conversation.
They've maxed out so many of their stats, though. They've really been grinding to be the best they can.
The conversations are orchestrated like the first person that you've talked to would be the last person you arranged a meeting with. And so you had this and then two others that you talked to who convinced for meetings.
Let's break off those meetings, though.
You have Christy with 13 heart, 7 charisma.
I mean, Christy could learn and do a lot. I mean, and she comes with 45.
Yes, and 2 agility.
Yes, and 2 agility. She would be somebody that would be very well equipped to, I don't know, play music on the street corner or draw portraits or something like that. Not much else, though.
Wow.
What? I mean, maybe you've thought of other techniques and other things that you could have this person do to really help the elite liberal agenda, but I just don't know what those would be. Alright, I'm going to break off these meetings. And Logan West feels something needs to be done. And I'm not osmosing any martial arts out of you, but I'm still talking to the 10 charisma mutant. So we shall see whether or not things continue to move on. There you go. Labor union opinions. And you're ready to fight for the liberal cause. But yeah, no. I went ahead and broke off those meetings, even though I was learning a small amount about religion. Let's keep talking to mutants, because that's what you do.
Their attributes can be unusually high, but as noted, like, they can also be really awfully low as well. There are people who have like a minimum like attribute level of the stuff that you're looking for. It is harder to find people whenever the issues in public opinion are currently where they're located.
Right. There are certain professions that, like, typically later in the game, when things have sort of opened up a little bit more and public opinion is starting to change, that I will look for. I like looking for army veterans will tend to have relatively good combat skills and things. Dancers are very agile.
Yoga instructors that you can find at the vegan co-op will have high health and agility.
Can you find those at this point in the...
Sure, I don't understand why there couldn't be yoga instructors in this reality, but it's going to be really hard to find them as moderates or liberals.
That's what I mean to say. Yeah, let's go to the vegan co-op and see if there are any there. Liberal Crime Squad has arrived at the vegan co-op. There's a hippie. Hey, hippie.
There are a few folks who are guaranteed to be liberal, and there are folks who are guaranteed to be conservative, but by and large, the folks, they'll be based off of how public opinion and attitude is.
Yeah. You're never going to find a Death Squad member hanging out that is a liberal. It's just not a thing that ends up happening. Those folks don't get into that line of work, I guess, is how it turns out.
Yes.
Let's strike up a conversation about politics with this mutant. Industries that stop at nothing to become more profitable are polluting the environment in ways that not only hurt animals, people too. Yep, come on by. There's more hippies, college students. I mean, I suppose I could be trying to pick up these people. Oh my god! I got a date with this college student.
That's right.
Hot stuff.
I go to your church.
Well, I'm not going to ask out anybody else, because if you start asking out multiple people... Oh, I missed a mutant there. If you start asking out multiple people, things can get a little confusing. Oh, and I just saw an arch-conservative yoga instructor.
There's a liberal judge.
A liberal judge.
Who's guaranteed to be liberal.
Hey, buddy.
They've got a guaranteed heart of at least 10 and an intelligence of 5, at least.
Hey, I could be smarter than this liberal judge. Let's find out.
No.
What about marrying me? No?
No.
Fine. I was willing to risk having more than one date in order to establish a relationship with a liberal judge, because it is very good in this game to have a couple of judges on your side. What? Is that not true?
I didn't say it was wrong.
Is that not so?
By any means necessary. Oh wow, Sally, what a compelling argument.
This is not a very good roll on our persuasion. People think they need lots of guns.
Whatever.
Need lots of guns. People are very easily impressed. Hey there, friend. Do you want to hear something disturbing?
Dude, that's totally bumming me.
Oh, cool. Come on by. We'll talk about it. More hippies.
Well, there was a yoga instructor who was moderate there.
Oh. I worry about recruiting moderates because if anything bad happens and their minds are poisoned with wisdom, they can be converted against the cause, and that can cause you...
that's the primary threat you have in this game.
Let's strike up a conversation about politics with this mutant.
Whatever.
Aw, come on, man. Got authors, musicians,
hippies.
A lot of high school dropouts. There's an arch-conservative dancer. Dancers can be handy to have. They tend to have some charisma and some agility. Hey, Mr. Mutant Man. Sexism is still pervasive. You don't want to hear about that. Well, fine. Let's see. How many meetings do I have right now? I have 4 meetings. I feel like if I get too many more meetings than that, things could end up being complicated. Look at that charisma score. That is one charismatic mutant. This person has the mutated power to have a supermodel's face or something. A lot of intelligence, a lot of heart too. good computer skills. Not necessarily somebody that you're going to send out to the field of battle, but in a lot of other ways, very, very compelling person. Let's see whether or not they actually want to listen to us. Valeria Allen is skeptical about some of our arguments. That's too bad. I mean, so far we haven't had anybody that said that our views came off as slightly insane.
Well, how about Pedro here?
Pedro, jeez, look at that heart and charisma. I'm finding a lot of really hippy dippy mutants.
So once upon a time, attributes were hard capped at a 20, so that would be too excessive. But I think Jonathan made the game easier, and I do recall talking about the Bay-12 forums about this. Great, way to make the game even easier by allowing attributes to flourish even higher than 20 and ascend to their true purpose under heaven and the stars.
Let's chat with him and discuss politics. Insightful views, yes.
Justine here.
Justine.
More charismatic and smarter than as smart as your founder.
Yeah. I don't know though. I don't think it's worth hanging on for. And now that we found these so much more charismatic mutants, I don't know if we need this mutant either. Even though he's ready to fight for the liberal cause.
I'm about to go shoot a firework in my face.
I don't understand. I don't get why. What? You really think that this person should help us out? Fine, we'll get a new member.
I don't like ultimately that's up to you. It's just that I feel as if you're gonna constantly try to trade up for people. like you're Bernie Mac here at Ocean's 11 at the used car dealership.
I'm just looking for somebody that has an agility of 9 or 10 at least. Somebody that can potentially, I don't know,
you'll actually commit some crimes?
Punch and dodge a punch. Yeah, I mean, basically, if they're gonna commit some crimes, that's what they're gonna have to have.
You don't have to have high agility to commit crimes, though. There are crimes that you can commit that don't involve agility.
Well, yes, you can, I don't know, start cyber hacking, but
wow, way to accelerate the situation. Yeah, you could.
But
you can go do some spray painting. You could go spray some graffiti to get some juice.
So this person would just be kind of a punk, I suppose. Why don't you come on board, Mr. Punk? Logan West accepts and is eager to get started. Why don't you come to the homeless shelter as a regular member? We got a hot date with Stephen Coleman.
Yes,
yeah,
look at that delicious tin wisdom.
Yeah, we're not doing anything there.
Oh, poor college student.
Sorry, college student. Hey,
you let on Stephen Coleman. How could you monster?
One night stand. Come on, you're a college kid. That's supposed to be a thing that you do.
You just broke it off. Not a one night stand.
All right, let's.
One night sad.
Oh. Now you are making this bad. Alright, so hang on a second. Let's I'm forgetting my hotkeys for a second here. Let's review. I want to form a second squad, and it's going to be a solo squad for this other guy to go and cause trouble.
Okay.
So let's assemble a new squad, and Logan's going to be on it, and the squad is ready, and it's going to be called Troublemakers. I mean, right now it's a single troublemaker, but that's fine. Let's actually take a look at the new troublemaker squad. Do you have any security skill? You sure don't. So you're not going to be able to attempt to unlock any doors. You have law skill, which is kind of interesting. But why don't you go shopping and go to the... I forget, can you get spray paint at the pawn store, or do you have to go to the department store? Which is Roberts's.
I don't remember right? You should. Be
Surely
able
the
to buy it
department
from-
store can do it.
I don't know. I think the pawn shop would be the best case than a department store.
No, let's try it then. Why not?
It's just a day of Logan's time. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. And so you go forth and do that, and Sally, you are also going to go forth. You're going to go try and talk to some more mutants.
You're going to juggle multiple teams at once. My God.
Well, what else is she going to do? Go try and earn more donations? It's not going to do anything.
You don't want to increase her juice, though, too? You want to try and keep her, like, spotless?
I want to keep her relatively squeaky clean.
Okay. With her 5 charisma, got it.
With her 5 charisma. Yes. What? I don't see the issue here.
There are issues.
Let's go to the Let's just go to the crack house again. There's more mutants hanging around.
Okay.
The War Crime Squad has arrived at the crack house. Hooray! Hey, buddy. Nope. Okay. I will not be deterred. Hey, friend. How you doing? Hey.
Whatever.
Hello, sir. Do you want to hear about Jesus?
Whatever.
Nope. Okay. Mr. Mutant?
No.
You don't even want to hear the disturbing thing. God. Political flavors. They're bought and sold for campaign contributions, and the voting system enforces two-party dominance.
Whatever.
I feel like these guys are so disillusioned. I have to do something to turn their hearts. You don't care about the innocent people that have been put to death? I mean, what can I do?
What random strangers say, except for this person. That's totally bumming me, dude.
Alright. See? It's progress. It's slow, but it's certain. And yes,
Past a mutant.
I walked past a mutant.
Progress. Whatever.
Hey, friend. Better watch what you say. They've got ears everywhere.
Whatever.
They're gonna hear that you said whatever. They're gonna say, well, that wasn't very friendly.
Get out of my face. Fire engine rolling down the street. Someone may have gotten a little bit overzealous with the fireworks.
Oof, that is too bad. We now live like catty-cornered to a police officer, and we noticed while we were driving out earlier this afternoon that a fire and EMS truck was like pulling into the neighborhood, and I was like, I wonder whether or not they're just all going to have a big old emergency like first responders party, or whether or not, I don't know, somebody blew their hand off a little early in the day. Ah, somebody else doesn't think we can allow this. That's good. Now see, this process has been sped up, which is helpful.
Yes, helpful.
I mean,
not if you keep walking past mutants.
no, I did it again. But I mean, imagine if you had to walk around until you came across another random encounter. Each one of these passed by mutants would sting so much more. Corporate executives use giant corporations as a means to become parasites that suck wealth out of this country, put it into their pockets.
That is disturbing. What can I do?
Don't read Reagan the Man. Yes. Whatever. Fine. You can't please all the people all the time. And these mutants are proving that.
As I'm sure you know, age also factors into a character's statistics as well.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting, because like one of the best characters that I had in my previous playthrough was a like 58-year-old yoga instructor who just went on to become this martial arts badass.
So there's multiple like tiers of categories from like your child and teenager. There's a few stages of adulthood, and then you have elderly, and it's during those times that children and teenagers, children especially, Like, their attributes are much lower than what they would normally end up being. Teenagers have a slight reduction. And as folks get older, they'll gain some intelligence. They'll eventually lose heart and gain wisdom.
Oof.
And they'll lose agility and strength, but gain charisma.
Well, I could talk to this other mutant and try and recruit them, but right now I have 6 meetings scheduled. So if I add another one, I'm starting to run the risk of getting them all jumbled up in my head. Troublemakers arrived at Powell Pawn and Gun. Let's get some tools.
There's your spray paint.
There's the spray paint. I could also buy a crowbar.
Note that you can't have both of those equipped.
No, that's true. And I don't know that I want to start trying B&Es with this guy just yet. Maybe we'll buy some spray paint as a nice innocuous thing to do for the short term.
Yes, that said, spray painting, the graffiti is illegal.
Oh sure, this person will begin committing crimes the moment they utilize the spray paint to do anything. Sally Hudson is interested in learning more. I'm interested in you learning more. You have you have a high heart score. You have an okay agility score. That's not an exceptional one, but I would feel comfortable putting you out into the world to do some real troublemaking. You also already start with a little bit of dodge skill, which is nice. It means that maybe the first time that somebody shoots a gun at you, you may not get hit.
Way to escalate that situation.
I'm just saying, these things can happen. I might actually... Nah, I don't have a lot of money to spend. Ugh. Do I spend the money on props, or do I just hope that they will not find me insane? You know what? We'll spend $50 on props to start with. I shared a book on the history of military atrocities. Hey.
That's insightful.
See, now I'm beginning to gain their sympathies. They'll be more willing to talk to me again later.
Vithara here.
Yeah.
Vithara. Who's really bummed out, I'm sure.
Yeah. Sorry, Lothara. Or Vithara. Lothara. No, not bringing you back. Not bringing this individual back either. Sorry, Vanessa Abramowitz.
They're for security.
I mean, that's nice, but... I mean, you don't have any skills.
Security. It's a lockpicker right there.
I mean, it's a lockpicker that's almost as good as she could possibly be already.
Just juice her up.
One day she might even be able to have a 6 security skill. Oh boy. No. Sorry. Emiliano, no. Valeria, yeah. You'll take a lot of persuading, but you know, I'm willing to allow that to happen if you're willing to come along. Let's discuss politics. My views are insightful, are they? Cool.
Pedro here.
Pedro thinks something needs to be done. And, I mean, look at that charisma score. It's so juicy. You found my views to be insightful? Cool. Alright, so let's have Logan West go forth to stop evil. He can stop evil in...
You could have him go spray, go put graffiti, like in the crack house, a safe place.
Good.
Relatively safe.
I mean, I could have both of these people go to the crack house in separate,
That's dangerous when you have multiple people attempt to go to the same place in the same day.
Oh, what happens?
Well, I mean, maybe it was fixed, but I mean, like, that's inviting a chaos to disrupt the game whenever you try to have multiple teams visit the same site in the same day.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, Logan, why don't you go to the crack house? And Sally, why don't you go forth to some other place today? Let's have you go to the Healthy Methods Juice Bar. Maybe you'll find some non-hippies there. The Liberal Scrime Quad has arrived at the Healthy Methods Juice Bar. No, friends, I don't need to talk to you. Well, alright. Why don't I see if you want to go on a date with me? No. Okay. Hey, college student. You want to go out? Nope. Hey, sculptor. You want to go out? No. What do you think? Nope. Barista. Is that a new profession? I don't seem to remember encountering a lot of baristas in previous run-throughs.
I don't recall any baristas. I try not to think of baristas.
Or bariste. I don't know how you pluralize it.
You don't.
If you're doing it right.
You bury it.
Oh, whoops. Hey, there's a table. The table is occupied by a teenager, a clerk, and a musician. Hey, clerk, what do you think? You want some of this? No. Nope. Okay. Table's occupied by a black belt and a barista. Hey, black belt, do you want to hear something disturbing?
What?
Homosexuals are people like anyone else, and yet they're treated in this country as if they're deviants fit only for cheap entertainment.
Whatever.
Hey, barista, you wanna get with this? No.
No, no one wants to get with that except for Stephen Coleman.
And I already blew my chances with that. So
yeah,
sad. Forever alone.
I mean, you're the one who that power was in your hands.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I made a decision, and I'm sure that I will regret it crying into my pillow every night. No, I'm not going to try and hit on the teenager. Let's try and remember that. Hey, a socialite. I could really move up in the world if I started dating a socialite, but that's not happening. See, all these black belts and yoga instructors, when the world might be a little bit more open to our ideas, these might be people that are liberals that we could attempt to recruit. But right now, that's not happening. Hey, Ms. Liberal Judge, do you want to hear something disturbing?
What?
The police regularly torture minority suspects during interrogations.
You got anything to smoke on you?
After more discussion, Liberal Judge agrees to come by later tonight. I like hearing that. Ooh, I've got a date.
Yes.
And now there's some socialites, hippies, things. Not run into a lot of mutants. Ran into a liberal judge, which is great news. I'm not gonna deny it.
The juice bar doesn't take kind to their kind around here.
Well, I mean, liberal judges in general, I don't feel like have a whole lot of...
I was referring to mutants, Bobo.
Yeah, I see. I mean, they can drink juice just like anybody else. Alright, the Nelson Street Crack House. Now, there's gang signs all over here. Yes. I don't know if that's going to be an issue.
Now, spray painting can get you up to 50 juice.
Sure. Which is the first... Well, no, that's 2 levels. I think you get one at 10, and then you get another one at 50.
Yes, you get 1 juice per spray.
Yes. So, you could be at this for a while.
You'll want to make sure not to do it while someone is, standing on the same tile.
Yes. Sprayed some graffiti. Now, is the gang gonna get mad if I spray over their gang signs? Maybe. We'll find out. Oh no! Immediately did it. Prostitute observes. High school dropout punched me.
Well, now you have witnesses to your crime, and the conservatives are alarmed.
Well, things just escalated quickly, but I'm fighting this high school dropout now, and I have a martial arts skill of 4.
You sure do.
I mean, that's better than my dodge skill.
Logan, you're about to get some more juice, buddy.
Logan's...
However, keep in mind that you're using the spray paint as a weapon, and that's a club.
Oh dear. We ran away screaming.
Uh-huh.
Let's get out of here.
There's
All right.
Liberal Judge.
There's my liberal judge. I want to spend $50 on props and let you keep that prop afterward. You're skeptical about my arguments. Why? You feel something needs to be done? I do too. Let's talk about it. You're interested in learning more? Well, good. I want you to learn more. Pedro Ward. Another... Yeah. Oh, you're ready to fight for the liberal cause. Well, congratulations. Also, you have a gun. What?
Pedro was like, yes.
Also, Pedro Ward, do you like how I just came up to you and said, "Oh, hey, Pedro Ward, you're ready to fight for a liberal cause, and you have a gun."
How convenient.
That's like, wow, you're ready to literally fight. What do you know? Come with me. Let's get started. Why don't you come to the homeless shelter as a regular member? I got a hot date with Rose Goldwater. You have a lot of martial arts skill, which is interesting. Let's break it off though. Well then, let's take a look at Logan here. He's wanted for armed assault. Hey, you got 5 juice out of that though. What do you know? What a guy.
Excuse me, Logan's not a guy.
Fair enough. Let's see.
So,
yes,
armed assault.
I did level up my club skill very slightly there.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you go for it to stop evil, and this time, why don't you definitely go to the crack house. We don't have any secrecy at the homeless shelter, but there's also no heat there right now because we haven't done anything that bad yet. We punched a guy. The police were like, eh. So let's go to the crack house again. You didn't
punch a guy, you hit him with a spray can.
Well, okay. That's fair. That is what we did.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 3 more meetings. I could use some money soon because I'm gonna have to keep bribing that judge in order to.
Yeah, with all those props that you buy. Well, maybe that means that you either go get money with all the criminal activity that entails, or you go back to panhandling.
Go back to panhandling? I mean, maybe I should make the other guy go do that because he's got so much more potential charisma.
Well, now he's committed a crime.
Yes.
So that means that street sense can be tested, and police can go after him while he's on the streets.
People on the streets. I mean, I suppose that's true. He's also lightly wounded. He has some first aid. What I really should be doing...
The lightly wounded will not impact his attribute.
Oh, well, I just figured it was a chance for him to boost up his first aid skill a little bit. But, you're right. Probably shouldn't be a big deal. What if I had him go out then? Pedro, what if you went and did some legal fundraising and solicited donations?
Yes.
Wait, he didn't have any street sense.
Well, no, but he hasn't committed a crime.
He's gonna get some. Well, he has committed a crime, so I guess that's what you're saying. He's gonna build some. Yes.
Yeah, Pedro hasn't committed a crime. Logan has.
Oh, wait. Oh, these are the uninvolved. Damn it.
Uh-huh.
Right, okay. Well, still, Pedro, if I'm remembering right, should... So you can only activate uninvolved liberals.
Right, you have Logan already going to a place.
Ah, so I can cancel his departure. There we go.
Yes.
Now I'm... Okay. That's slightly different than what I was thinking. So let's... Yeah, why don't you go and solicit some donations too? It'll be fine.
Now that you've hit someone with spray paint, go get some donation.
If you don't want this to happen to you, join the Liberal Crime Squad.
Give me money.
Yeah. Alright. Wow, look at the amazing art skill and music skill potential that this person has, and amazing persuasion of 16. I mean, you don't have the ability to recruit anybody right now, but boy, when you do, you're going to be something else.
People are going to need a juice of, I think it's at least 50 in order for them to start to be able to recruit people.
Yeah, why don't we all just go out and get some money right now, and we'll just continue to manage these discussions that we're having with folks until we have those all worked out. So here, let's activate Sally as well. Why don't you go get some money? You have.
Now, if you had money, you could have Sally with her teaching of Foreign Persuasion 5 teach people how to persuade.
It's true. course, I could also now level up. I could sell. Well, let's see. What is her? No, not activate. Let's review. There. Review Sally's skills. What is your max tailoring going to be? Your max tailoring is going to be 10. So why don't you go sell some t-shirts?
Yes,
Sally.
t-shirts relies on both tailoring and business score.
Yeah, so those would be useful things to build up. Let's hang on. You're going to take a lot of persuading, Jen. But I want to persuade you. You found my views to be insightful. Courtney is ready to fight for the liberal cause. You get to. Get some.
You get to. You are permitted.
You are allowed to come in. Come to my window. Here, you also discuss politics. Let's casually chat. You're skeptical. I understand. Let's go.
Are you gonna have this new person join the group of raise money?
Pedro is going to join the troublemakers. But not going to go out just yet.
Wait, Pedro?
No, sorry, not Pedro. Let's be. Yes, Courtney's going to join the troublemakers. My bad. Pedro is going to be a good person and just sit at home.
Wow, a good person.
What? Courtney's a good. I'm not trying to say Courtney's a bad person, but
wow.
I'm not even sure what it is that you are wowed by in this situation. But
you've made your attitudes well known, sir.
Let's spend some money on props. Yes. Oh, you're interested in learning more. Maybe you're not about to leave now. Let's chat with you. Views are insightful. You think something needs to be done, you're right. Oh my god. The first time I don't spend $50 because I think that you're being won over.
Yep, came across a slightly... Look, goodbye, First Aid 4, Law 9, Security 3.
Well, to be honest, I wasn't going to end up using a lot of those things.
You were going to use it as a sleeper agent?
She was going to be a sleeper agent. I wanted to have liberal judges stay in the halls of ultimate judgment in case anybody got arrested and they needed a hand. There's a chance, I guess, if you have liberal judges that are sleeper agents for you, that they will be assigned to a case that of one of your agents, and then hopefully they'll have some leniency. It's not a shoo-in that bad things won't happen, because obviously a jury still decides, but they can be lenient with sentencing. Valeria, you think something needs to be done. I agree. You're ready to fight for the liberal cause. Good. Join us. You can join as a full member. You're eager to get started. Come to the homeless shelter as a regular agent. I'm going to also have you just start building up your charisma.
The suggestion there was, why not have her sell art? You know, sometimes the game will default to suggestions like...
Yeah.
Now how are those people doing with improving their persuasion, since you have them doing this?
Yeah, well, I mean, let's take a look. And see? Already up to 3/10. That's in just 4 days.
Well, that's a ringing endorsement if I've ever heard one.
It takes time, although, look, the bruise healed. That's pretty good. Pedro, you have half a point of persuasion now. You're well on your way to 16.
Note that Pedro's persuasion is going up faster than Logan's persuasion.
Yes. That's true. What is it that's happening in this case? Is it because of the high charisma?
Yes.
There's a little bit of a natural inclination towards being persuasive?
Yes.
That's good.
Has a better aptitude for it.
Yes. Meanwhile, Courtney, with a max of 7, not learning near as much. Also hasn't been at it as many days, but...
That's right.
That's right. Oh, you have a stealth score. That's good. Stealth is one of the harder skills to just...
Computers 5, tailoring 2, art 2, first aid 1, martial, got a little bit of martial arts and a little bit of stealth.
This is, I mean, I guess at 53 years of age, we're supposed to think that this is a mutant that has been around the block and done some things and learned some things.
What an evocative description.
You've lived a full life, Valeria. Then we're back to our founders.
She's like, no, it's been really empty.
Oh. Well, let's try and fill it now. So let's see, Courtney. Courtney doesn't have spray paint. Is she going to get juice without also doing the spray painting, or do they have to be a team in that sense?
Repeat the question.
I'm trying to remember whether or not she will also get juice from being part of a party that spray paints, or whether or not she also has to be equipped with spray paint and theoretically be helping in that sense.
Well, one way for you to find out.
Yes, actual field work.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. So Sally. Sally, what's your story right now? You have 4 recruits with a maximum of 6. So you could still go out and find 2 more people for our cause. Or you could just go out and keep learning stuff. And we could have Logan and Courtney head out into the world and try and raise some hell.
Yes.
So let's go forth and stop some evil. Let's go to the industrial district. Let's go to the crack house.
And maybe not spray paint graffiti on a stack where other people are.
Yeah. I hit the S button to spray, not remembering that U is the graffiti button. Alright. Did you gain any juice from that? You gained a juice. Juice for you. And you're wanted for vandalism. You're wanted for vandalism and armed assault. Way to go, Logan. Use it. Oh, the gang member looked at us suspiciously.
And it's actually going to get you some disguise.
Well, I mean, it would be if, we didn't get any from that, though, because that was an unsuccessful...
Yes, you did.
Oh, we did. We got a
Get
lot.
disguise.
Oh, my. Okay. I just always get scared whenever. Oh. Okay, people are suspicious. Let's get out of here. Oh no!
They're alarmed now. Ah! Uh-oh, it's a gang member.
That is a gang member. This could be bad news.
Flee!
Sneak! Sneak for your lives!
Can't kill us both!
Right, yeah.
Unless the journalist has a gun.
Oh, I have to use WASD for fleeing. I cannot use the arrow keys, or you can use them for anything else. Okay. This gang member has an AK-47. Holy shit.
Oh!
Courtney Hudson jumped aside. Courtney Hudson has some dodge.
Nicely done, Courtney.
The journalist has a 9mm, also shooting at Courtney.
Like, John dodged this. Oh, she did!
And she's like, what else you got, motherfucker?
What's her dodge at?
Well, it's at something now.
2. Her dodge was at 2. Nicely done. All
yep.
Right, I stand corrected. Okay.
I'm accepting of all of that.
She's at 8 juice. Logan will have juiced up to the next level, the next juice tier.
Look, now he's got an agility of 5. Woohoo!
What's your founder's agility?
My founder's agility is what? Let's find out.
7. Okay.
7. Yeah.
7.
All right, let's go forth and stop some. I mean, honestly, I'm very lucky there that everybody was shooting at Courtney, even though she wasn't even the one spray painting anything. Huh. Go figure.
Hey, you know, not bad though that she managed to survive.
Now then, there's not a whole lot of innocuous spaces right around the entrance to the crack house now that have not already been spray painted.
You could choose a different
section. I think I might have to.
You could go to the homeless shelter.
I could go to the homeless shelter. If I cause a bunch of trouble at the homeless shelter, maybe things will... No, I don't know. Do I want to cause trouble at the homeless shelter, or do I want to cause trouble?
You can always just go stay at your abandoned warehouse.
I could. That's the other safe house. I could move the folks that are committing crimes away from the people that are not committing crimes in order to keep the people that are not committing crimes safe. I'll wait a day and let them do that. And now, having done that, you guys are in a new location. Why don't you go to the housing projects? There's tiles in the housing projects that you can spray paint on.
Send them to the project.
Now, do you have any? You don't have any. You don't have any security sense either.
No.
Boy, howdy.
There was that one mutant you could have hired who had security, but wasn't good enough for your standards.
Yeah, apparently not. Hey, friends.
Hail, friends.
There's bikers and hippies and all kinds of stuff here. What if we start down here and just start spray painting our way up?
Okay.
Hopefully.
Courtney's now an activist.
Hey guys, don't worry about us. This is, uh-oh, they're smelling panic.
They're suspicious. Why'd all this shit suddenly appear here?
Alright. Hey, and our disguise score went up to, we have a full point of disguise now. Well, Courtney does. Okay, Logan does too. Good job, guys.
Yes, they blended in that one time.
Yep. Well, they only got looked at suspiciously. They didn't immediately get called out on their bullshit. Well, there's no real point in staying around to try and get noticed one more time if we already leveled up disguise. And I don't want to do too much more risking of... Now, is your art is going up, isn't it? No? Come on,
No.
But you're doing so much beautiful painting.
That doesn't improve art. That's not art. That's drawing LCS on the wall.
No. I see. We're being snobs about what is art now.
You're not doing art, though, because you don't have time to make art.
I consider
Vandalizing.
that time that they spray painted NWO on the title belt an amazing work of art. Okay. Alright, you're wanted for armed assault and 24 counts of vandalism. You're only 20, because you had those 4, including the one time that somebody saw you and you hit them with a can of paint. Logan, well done. Wait, their slogan is true liberal justice? It's not we need a slogan? Come on.
You just noticed this?
Yeah. It's fine. I'll have to think of a new slogan though. What is the slogan?
We need a slogan.
We do need a slogan. I might put off... I think what I'm going to do now, though, let me take a quick look at these guys one more time. You're halfway to your next level of juice, so that's pretty exciting, Logan. You're almost halfway there. But once you get there, you'll actually be able to recruit a whole other person on your own. Good job, Logan. Good job, Courtney.
Fucking demeaning.
No, that'll be good for
you by yourself.
Yes, we did. And after all of that, we've committed minimal amounts of crime, gained a minimal amount of juice, have in no real way affected the liberal agenda, and don't actually have a slogan yet. But I'm going to go ahead and call time on this little session, and hopefully we'll get to come together and do this again sometime soon. But soon. Trademark. But yeah, this hopefully is just your everybody's little toe dipped in. We've completed almost 2 months of 2009ing, and when we get back, more trouble made. That's the goal.
Yes, this footage will also be released over the course of 2 months.
This one? No, I didn't do any cuts. This is going to be nice and long and meaty, like that character creation video that apparently everybody on the internet loves.
Yes, I noticed you didn't do any cuts, but I thought those would be added in post.
You think way too much of my dedication to the craft here.
Yes.
All right, well, stay tuned, guys. We'll see you all later.
Yes.